Hi, this is Miss Elmore, and this video is over 2-3, 2-4 notes. So that should 2-3 and 2-4 is over the rate of change in slope and writing linear equations. This is what the assignment looks like that goes with it. The first 6 problems you're finding the slope or the rate of change, which is the same thing as the slope. And then we're going to practice writing equations. This is 2-4, writing equations in slope-intercept form. So the first thing we're going to do is talking about how to find slope when you're given 2 points. So the first thing we're going to do here, actually just on some scratch paper, to find the slope between 2 points. The slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if you have 2 points, let's say -2, 7 and 3, -3, your first point, this is point 1, this is point 2, so this is going to be your x1 and your y1. This is your x2 and your y2. So basically all we're doing is we're plugging in numbers here. So my y2 value is this y2 point here, which is -3. So I would plug in a -3 minus y2 minus y1, which is 7. And then x2, which is right here. My x2 is 3, so I'm going to do 3 minus an x1, which is a -2. From here, you're going to simplify the top, simplify the bottom. We can do a -3 minus 7. That gives you a -10. Here you do 3 minus a -2. Remember, anytime you subtract a negative, you can add the opposite. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So you have a -10 over 5. You always want to make sure you can reduce it. A -10 over 5 is 5 goes into 10 2 times. And since it's a -10 divided by a +5, it's going to stay a -2. So the slope of the line that goes through these 2 points is -2. Okay, that you should be able to use this slope formula on the first 3 problems on your assignment, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Just be careful on your signs and make sure you're subtracting your integers correctly. The next 3, 4, 5, and 6 on that assignment are like graphs. If they give you, you're trying to determine the rate of change or the slope, those are the same thing. For the graphs, slope is also seen as rise over run. So that's rise is how far you move up and down, run is how far you move left and right. Okay, so what you're going to do when you're given a graph is find 2 points that are nice and easy. So like that, I know it crosses there. Here it crosses. There's another point it crosses at. Those are some points. I want to figure out how far do I have to rise and how far do I have to run from one point to the other. If I start at this bottom point, I have to rise 1, 2, 3, and I have to run 1, 2. But since I went to the left 2, anytime you go left, it's always going to be negative. Okay, so I rose 3 and I went to the left 2, so that's a -2. So my slope for this line is rise over run. We went up 3 and we went over -2. That's our slope. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. Here, I have a point here and a point here. You see how far you rise and run. We rose, we have to rise 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how far we rise. and then we run 1. And we run to the left. Again, if you go to the left, it's negative. So we had to go up 4 and over 1. So our slope is 4 over negative 1. How many times does negative 1 go into 4? Well, 1 goes into 4 4 times. So that reduces to a negative 4 as your slope. We'll try this one too. Here you have a point here and a point here. We rise. How far do you have to rise to go from one point to the other? We rise 1, 2, 3. And we have to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we went up 3 and we went over 8. If you go to the right, it's positive. So that's a positive 3 over 8. Okay? That's the first part for notes for 2-3, 2-4. I'm going to send another video for 2-4.